Hello and welcome back to the Fast Forward podcast with me, your host, Nicole, but you might also know me as PitStopNic. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a very exciting interview for you all with the one and only Chloe Chong. So if you followed me for a little while, you might know that I actually chatted to Chloe at the start of 2024. So Chloe competed in F1 Academy in its inaugural season in 2023, and she took a year doing British F4 and has taken all of that knowledge and experience behind the wheel and is feeding that back into F1 Academy this year. So it's really great to be able to have the perspective of the headspace and where she was a year ago, but also now how she's changed as a driver and a person off the track. This episode is also in partnership with TeamViewer and F1 Academy. So TeamViewer did an amazing report in partnership with Loughborough University London, where they focus on women in sport tech and really dig deep into visibility and how that drives innovation. So I chat to Chloe a little bit about their findings and what she is looking forward to in the future and how she is off track, just getting to know Chloe a little bit better as the incredible racing driver she is. So without further ado, I hope you all enjoy the interview just as much as I did chatting to Chloe. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Chloe. It's lovely to chat. We did chat briefly at the start of 2024, but a lot has happened since that I'm very excited to chat to you about. So welcome to the Fast Forward podcast.
Yeah, it's been a long time no speak. So
yeah, for sure.
Definitely a lot to say and a lot of updates with where my racing career is going.
Yeah, so I think last time we chatted, you were about to make a family roast dinner. Are you still cooking?
I am.
Mm.
I mean...
A bit,
yeah. Sometimes we don't have enough time. There's a very busy racing schedule this year, especially with the travel and the jet lag. And when I get back from America, I'm like dead for like a week. So it's a lot, but I love cooking for myself, and also it just feels rewarding as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember you were playing musical instruments. Is that still happening in the background when you can?
Yeah, it is. Again, at a lesser capacity, just because I'm not at home as much. It's so nice to sit down, you know, for an hour, 2 hours and play music and just enjoy it and get away from it all.
Yeah, for sure. And am I right in thinking you've been cycling a lot more recently?
Yes, my two side quests, cycling and golf.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
golf.
I've gotten into golf recently. I am looking for a playing partner, so if anyone wants to be my playing partner, text me, DM me. Yeah. But yeah, cycling's been going really well. And I'm actually training for something really exciting coming this summer. So again, another stay tuned.
My eyes peeled.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult, very tough, and it's something that's definitely driving me out of my comfort zone in terms of not being in a car and going this distance.
Interesting. Okay, well, keep the teaser, get people wondering. Amazing. Okay, let's start off with some quick fire questions and then we'll dive a little bit more into what you've been doing over the past year. So, first up, one circuit that you would like to turn into your home race if you could.
One circuit that isn't my home race?
Yes.
I'm very lucky because I have 3 great circuits. I've got Montreal, I've got Shanghai, I've got Silverstone.
You don't even have to have raced that. Could be a completely rogue one.
That makes it even more difficult.
Yeah.
I would say like circuit as a circuit that's permanently there. Suzuka.
Yeah,
I think that is a driver's track for sure. And one that I really, really want to go to one day if I get the chance. I really enjoyed Miami. Yeah. I'd love to go there again, especially Sector 2. I love Sector 2 so much, especially as someone that loves to hustle the car around and be very aggressive. So
would you say that you prefer more of a street circuit than a purpose-built track? Or
I like both. I think my driving style is very adaptable. So it means that no matter what we get up to, I find a way to enjoy it. Nice. Although one thing that really bores me is long corners. I like sharp corners where you can really get the car to
nice
have
chicane.
Chicane, a bit of oversteer just to get the car rotated. And I like fast corners, but just like long, boring corners. Not my thing.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And which teammate or other F1 Academy driver would you trust to do your makeup before a red or purple carpet?
Oh, I mean, I went to the premiere with Emma yesterday because we did half a day of sim and then I drove her back to my house and then we got the train to the premiere.
Oh, nice.
And she is obsessed with makeup. And she was so excited because she's only got her makeup done once. So to have Charlotte Tilbury do the glam and the hair, she was like over the moon. So I feel like I would trust her to do that because I feel like she's quite invested in that sort of stuff.
Yeah, good answer. And have you ever named a car that you've owned or a car that you've raced? And if so, what?
I don't really name my cars just because I'd feel like I don't really get emotionally attached to them. I mean, to be fair, I've just got my first car and it's a Mini Cooper.
Oh, amazing. What colour is it?
It's midnight blue. Like, some of the mechanics of the team were like, oh, your car's black. I'm like, no, it's blue, guys. Like,
it's like a blue and black, yellow, gold dress all over again.
But I haven't really named it just because I haven't had the time to think about it.
Yeah.
But I am starting to get emotionally attached.
Yeah. And which trending sound is currently stuck in your head, if you have one?
Pretty Little Baby.
Oh gosh, that has just been going and going, hasn't it? And which is your favourite airport snack?
Airport snack. I have a routine when I go to the airport, and I get very like OCD about exactly what I do, and I have to go to this. Like, if I go to Gatwick, I have to go to this one place and get a Caesar salad from there because it has a poached egg, and I love poached eggs. I just love eggs with like the perfect centre, like not super runny, but like it's like a gel centre.
We actually just chatted with Nicole about the egg ick. So some people get the ick with the texture of eggs, but it seems like you're not one of those people. No. Nonsense.
I think the thing is, so when you're racing, obviously you want to fill your body. Your body's a temple, and you want to fill it with all the right fuels.
And so protein.
Exactly, protein. Eggs have protein, and there's so many different ways to do eggs, whether it's a soy egg, whether it's a Korean drug egg, whether it's a poached egg, that it's so easy to put into your meal, and especially when you cook it right, it tastes really good. So whatever you're doing, Nicole, is wrong, and you should consult me.
Maybe you need to cook some eggs together and you can change her mind.
Exactly. Yeah, no, we really need to do that.
Yeah. And what is one travel item that you always pack but rarely use?
I would say one travel item that I rarely use. You see, that it's easy the other way around.
Yeah, because you have things that you always use.
One that I rarely use that I always pack is a travel pillow.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Because I can never find a way, because I have to listen.
Comfortable.
I have to listen to music when I sleep.
And you have big noise cancelling headphones. Yeah. So then
it just like moves around. And, like, normally the best solve for my sleepiness on planes, especially with all the long haul flights that we had this year, is to sleep next to a window.
Yeah, and you can just lean your head against.
Window, or I kind of do like this like cross thing where I just like go like that.
But does your neck never fall?
I can't sleep like that. Like, I can't sleep like with my neck half to my head.
And your neck's important for the racing as well, right? So you don't want to be like coming off a flight with a really sore neck and then you're like, okay, well, how am I going to go and race?
I mean, I think people underestimate the fact that as girls in racing, we have weirdly disproportionate neck sizes. And with more muscle, you get a lot more aching and a lot more just headachy stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really important, to make sure that your neck's there. But it also means that our necks are a bit less flexible. It just means that everything is just so much more tense all the time. And I think that's what's really good with F1 Academy, is that they provide a physio, because I got off the plane to Miami and I was like, there's something wrong with my neck. And I went to her and she was like, Chloe, look up. I looked up and she was like, you're looking to the right. And I was like, no, I'm looking directly up. And she was like, no, your head is literally jolted to the right.
So we need some serious work.
So she was like, with the 15 minutes we have now, we can't solve this. You need to come back to me again.
Oh no. But at least you have that to hand to be able to sort you out before getting in the car.
Exactly. Yeah. But it is tough, definitely, travelling and a necky athlete.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and one final question that is not really quickfire anymore, but one thing that you're enjoying right now that's completely not motorsport related.
Golf. Yeah. Golf. I'm on like such a golf side quest. I have no motivation except for my own motivation, and that is honestly like, I just love the sound of the golf ball, like making really good contact with the club. And I also like the idea that you can always strive for more, and it's not just one shot that determines your match. You can have one bad shot and then have 5 great shots. And I think watching that, and also watching all the PGA Tour, like big events like the Masters, like the Championship, and like even the women's stuff has really made me quite interested in getting out there and just, that looks easy, and I'll give it a try, you know?
It's one of those sports that I think you can't really gauge how good someone is if they're a pro or elite or incredible unless you actually play golf. I don't play golf, so I really struggle to determine what's a good shot because I just haven't experienced that, but I'm sure you get that.
Well, a good shot's one that goes straight.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go back to where you are at right now and let's reflect on the past year. So this time last year you were in British F4. You'd come off the back of the youngest ever F1 Academy driver in 2023. Now you're back in F1 Academy. It's incredible to see you back. I love watching you race. So tell me where your mindset is, where you're at, and what the past year's been like for you.
British F4 was a hell of an experience. I think very different to what I experienced in 2023.
Yeah.
And a lot of learning things. Like I think almost every race weekend was wet in some sort of way. Like some important session in the race weekend was wet. And so it made me learn a lot about adapting to those conditions quite quickly and changing how I drive to fit into that situation. And also I'd never driven in the wet before. Wow. So there was a lot of learning from going like 6 seconds down on my teammates to being within half a second of the fastest driver on track. So we learned very quickly, but there was just a lot of playing catch up. And also, I mean, anyone that's driven British F4 and driven F1 Academy will tell you that they're two completely different cars. And the way that you get the feeling from the cars, I won't say the way that you drive them, but the way that you get the feeling from the cars and the feeling of grip is a very different feeling. And you have to adapt your expectations to that feeling. So that took me a while, having not driven anything except the F1 Academy car before. But yeah, it was a really fun experience. And I mean, considering we were lacking some resources monetarily to keep the engine tuned up and rebuilt throughout the season, I think we ended the season on a high, being within the top 10 without getting an engine rebuild us all that year. So I was quite happy with the performance, although it doesn't look like it on the results sheet. A thing with motorsport is that there's so many behind the scenes things going on.
Absolutely.
And for me, it was all about the development. It wasn't about pure results.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, when you see a result on paper, it just doesn't depict the story of the race weekend and all of the challenges and hurdles that you're facing. So it is really difficult to take it at face value when just seeing results. But I think, like you said, it's allowed you to learn and grow and shaped you into such a versatile driver, which now you can bring back with you into F1 Academy.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that's really great about F1 Academy is they see it in that similar light. We had the talk with Delphine and Susie. I think it was broadcast on social media. But, you know, they'd honestly been monitoring my success, not just by results, but by the way that I've adapted my driving. And they've given me this chance to be back in F1 Academy again, and I'm very grateful for that. And I mean, going into the first test of the year, proper test in Shanghai, we put the cars on 1, 2 and 5 and it was all going very well. Of course, when you get to the race season and you learn how to drive with the F1 grip on the track, it's a bit different. And as a team we had some things to iron out, and we're still ironing out some stuff that is limiting our success. But overall, on raw pace, I think the team's very much there, and I feel like 10 times the driver that I was when I probably last talked to you.
Yeah, I know, it's incredible how much can change in such a short space of time. And I think even F1 Academy in themselves have grown so much in the past 2 years. How has it felt different this time around, not only from your perspective, but just being a part of the series as a whole?
To be honest, everyone I've talked to, and I agree, says that it's completely different. Firstly, we've got the F1 coverage. So it's on the F1 week and F1 package on F1 TV. So there's a lot of eyeballs there. A lot more expectations and a lot more eyeballs there if you make one mistake, a silly mistake, let's say. You've also got the way that I would say that I approach the season. Obviously, with my first year, I had not basically had 2 weeks to prepare to race, so it was a bit rough.
I remember how you just went straight in with Prema when you joined, and it was a pretty quick turnaround, wasn't it?
So I guess the expectations were different. This year, you know, I feel like the pace is there to win races when everything is going all right, when everything is working and everything's in a flow. We haven't really managed to do that this season so far, but there has been glimpses of it, and I think on the whole we've been just a bit unlucky with the team, and we hope to get that iron out before Montreal or before Zandvoort, hopefully.
So what are you doing between now and those races to be able to put yourselves in the best position?
It's a lot of off-track things. Of course, the main thing I think that we found Abby had last year that gave her an advantage over competitors was being able to race the double campaign in British F4 and in F1 Academy. So a lot of the off-track stuff is about having those right meetings with sponsors and trying to find the funding to do as much as we can off of the F1 Academy season. So thankfully we've managed to do the race weekend at Snetterton last weekend.
Yes, yeah,
in British, and it went really, really well, you know, being top of the females without any testing, no practice starts at all. So I did lose, I'd say, a good 4 or 5 positions on every start. I still gained places in the race and finished on top of the females, I'd say, overall on the weekend, and scored points. So it shows that when we have everything right and nothing's faulty or nothing's playing up, we can get the job done. It's not too much about the driving, and we can focus a lot on just optimizing everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned a little bit about how there's so many eyeballs on F1 Academy now, more than ever. And obviously there's so much publicity and marketing around it. Do you think that's filtered through into the pressure that you feel over a race weekend, or do you try and block it all out as much as you can?
I wouldn't say that I feel any pressure during the race weekend. Of course, there's expectations, and there is a surrounding pressure of your career. If you're not performing, then you're not going to get a seat or a drive. But I think there is a lot of scrutiny over F1 Academy, unlike, let's say, the male counterpart series like F4 Championships or FRECA. And I think there's a lot of negative opinions, which I think are just blown out a lot more because it's viewed on the F1 package. For instance, like some of the races you see, like some of the comments you see on social media, it's like, oh, half the race is behind safety car, oh, like look at all these drivers crashing. But then you watch any F4 race or any junior series race, you know, even F3.
F2 in Monaco last weekend with the pile up.
First corner, right? Yeah. And they have equally bad outcomes and equally amount of laps behind safety cars. So I think it's very unfair, the scrutiny that we receive just because we're females, and that people are trying to find a way to kind of
criticise for no reason.
Criticise and throw off the work that we've been doing to achieve what we've gotten so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So part of the TeamViewer F1 Academy work that they're doing, TeamViewer did a big report, and one of the key findings was that having a community and supportive people around you is a big part in making you feel comfortable in these spaces. Have you got that within the F1 Academy, I guess, circle, or your team or your crew that you have?
I think if you ask anyone on the grid, we're not here to make friends. We're here to race, and if that means you lose a friend over it, fine, because it's our career, and it's all about, at the end of the day, what we do as drivers. I'd say one thing that's really, really helped me this year is the people around me. Yeah. My support team, people there just for me. I haven't been able to travel with my family to most of the races, and that helps keep the cost down as well, and helps me get maybe 1 or 2 more test days in the car as well. But also because I find that I perform better when I don't have my family there.
Interesting.
And I think it's just those small things that you start to figure out. You start to realise that having the right people around you can affect the whole vibe of the weekend, can affect the way that you see the weekend, the way that you perceive your mistakes, and the way that you fight back from it all. You know, having the right engineer, having the right mechanic who supports you and, you know, that you trust, and having the right, even like driver manager, and just people that you know you're in your corner and are always pushing you to be better, has really helped me, especially going from the end of last season to this season. It's made all the difference.
So on a race weekend, a typical race weekend, who would you have around you in your team?
So
do you have anyone that comes with you to the races outside of the team themselves?
Yeah, I mean, for the first 3 rounds, I had driver coach Jonathan with me. Yeah. Jonathan Hoggard, he won the Autosport Award a few years ago, so he's a very successful driver, and he's a very grounding guy as well. He's very calm and knows how to deal with, I guess, people that feel like they're a bit under pressure, a bit nervous or anxious. So we've had him for the first 3 races, and if budget was an issue, we would have brought him to every race because he was very helpful. But we're trying to control
the volume of people on the ground,
and just control costs. So unfortunately, he's not coming to Montreal, but it will be myself, my engineer, and because it's one of my home races, my dad is coming.
Oh, amazing.
And
hopefully he doesn't put you off too much and make sure that you perform on track.
I told him that he has to stay a certain distance away, and to be fair, he's been very good with it, and last weekend he was there and I performed well, so
Great.
I'm not superstitious about that. I need to manage my space, if that makes sense, and make sure that people understand that as well. But yeah, it's normally just myself and my engineer when we do sim days and all that sort of preparation, and we get along really well. He's a great guy. He's Australian, and actually he makes like coffee grinders as his side hustle. So
interesting.
He loves his coffee, and he's been a really great engineer, and I can't thank him enough for everything that he's taught me.
I think that's something that a lot of people don't realise, is that budget is such a big barrier to being able to have, you know, all of these feet on the ground, for example. Like it's something that people just don't see, because a lot of fans won't be so ingrained in the sport to know all of that. So
yeah, I think it comes in either one of two angles. One angle is that you don't have any idea at all about the costs, and that you don't actually know that people are paying £1 million a year to race in F4
and need the sponsorships, etc. If they don't have self-funding.
But then the other side of it is that people think that everyone in motorsports is super rich and that can pay £1 million a year to race in F4, etc. I would say that I'm definitely not on either end of the spectrum where I have zero money to race at all and can't put any money of my own into racing, or my family's money into racing. But I'm also not on that end that's like, I can pay for my season of racing fine, and several seasons after that. It's down, and I think the way that my mum's taught me as well is that if I want to create my own success, it can't come from other people's help. So it's important for me to firstly understand that I'm very fortunate to be able to even go-karting and do go-karting, which costs, well, it seems like a tiny amount of money for racing.
The bigger picture.
But it was expensive, like paying 10 grand a year to go-karting, and to do even one season of F1 Academy is difficult. And I'm so grateful to find the sponsors, such as my sponsor Zwift, such as being an ambassador for Canyon, and having all the partnerships surrounding F1 Academy like Charlotte Tilbury, because it creates a platform where you can bounce off of it and find other people, and it shows us how women are very good marketers as well.
Absolutely. So looking forward to the rest of the season and in the future, it doesn't have to be necessarily tangible goals, but is there anything that you're aiming for? Is there anything that you would love to achieve in the next few years or so?
I am aiming to have a professional career in the sport. That's my only goal. I appreciate, you know, as I said, with F1, there's a lot of money involved and a lot of things that have to go right for you as well. And for me, my dream from a child is to always become a professional racing driver, whether it's in IndyCar, whether it's endurance. It's that thrill of being in the seat and being able to drive around tracks in fast cars. And that's the only thing that I dream of when I'm older, is to be able to do that and feel successful, and again, support myself, support my family when it comes around to that time. And I mean, it's a while away, but you don't want to just do something and not have anything out of it, you know. I've got to think about the future and how I can support myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's so lovely to chat, and I think it's so nice to see your journey from where you were this time last year to where you are now. And I'm sure, again, in the future, hopefully we'll chat again and we'll see where your career takes you. But it's very exciting to watch you racing. I'm keeping a close eye on your results and everything you're getting up to. So best of luck for the rest of the season. And thank you so much for chatting. It's been lovely to chat.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.